Joe Manchin was asked directly by Cenk Uygur if he supports Medicare for All. Watch him morph into Neo from The Matrix and dodge.
What's your position on Medicare for All?
Medicare for All, or the one-payer system I think we're talking about, I think it should be debated. I think that there should be a working group looking at all aspects of that. If we're trying to make the public believe that we can have a market-driven system in healthcare that we do today, right, wrong, or indifferent, it's market-driven, that you're going to get the same services through a one-payer system, or you're going to pay the same taxes that you're paying now. Whatever you're paying is going to be the same. I think that's not correct and not accurate, not an honest attempt at telling the people what it's going to take in order for us to go that direction. But I think it's something we should be looking at. You know, when you become 65, they don't ask you about your pre-existing condition. They don't ask you what concerns and problems you may have. They're going to take care of you. So I understand where that comes from. I want to make sure we look at every aspect of it. So before the Republicans just want to throw everybody out, can't we sit down and help work with people? How can you give $600 billion of tax rebates to the wealthiest people in America and then take it away from $800 billion of service to the poorest people? That's a non-starter.
Yeah, so the Republican proposals are draconian, and I think almost everybody, certainly on the Democratic side, agrees, including yourself, that that's not the right way to go. Last question on Medicare for All. You've got 60% of the country that now says they're in favor of it. That is a big percentage. Obviously, Medicare, as it is applied, has a popularity rating of 77%. Even 53% say yes, government-run, single-payer healthcare. So with those huge numbers behind you, you said you're open to it, but a lot of senators have now come out and declared, yes, we are for Medicare for all.
Well, I want people to know that they're going to pay difference in taxes too. The tax system, if you look at the countries that have one-payer system, everybody pays something. Everybody's paying into it. And also, you're going to be, your access to healthcare is going to be a little bit more controlled. That's how they control the prices. I'm supporting the U.S. negotiating. Hell, don't you think, Jenks, that the U.S. government should negotiate for lower prices, whether it's pharmaceuticals or anything? They should be in there. How do we allow Medicare not to negotiate? Doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Right. But so you're saying that there are going to be higher taxes for Medicare for all, which is true, but then you would have no premiums, no deductibles, no co-pays, etc. So are you in favor of it or no?
We have this young boy, okay, this young child. I just was thinking of England right now, in London, UK. This one child, right? They're deciding now whether that child gets services or not. I don't think that would be a decision we'd make in America.
So you're not for Medicare for all? I'm just trying to understand.
I'm looking at it. I want to do whatever is best, but I don't want to go in with blinders on to say, oh yeah, no problem at all. I'm to the point, sit down, let's look at the pluses and the minuses, make sure the public sees it transparent and makes decisions.
Okay.
Right now, you know, facts aren't on the table. I can't tell you, will it be an open market? Will it still be market driven? Do I still have access to the best care in the world?
Right.
I'm hearing that a lot of the Canadians come to America because they can't get it when they want it and what they want.
Yeah.
That clip was very instructive and illuminating and tells you everything you need to know about Joe Manchin. Because he starts out trying to hold back how right-wing he is, and by the end it all comes out. So at the beginning, what's his answer? Do you support Medicare for all? It should be debated. Joe, what does that mean? He's asking you your opinion on it. He's asking you what you think we should do. Debate is good. No, but what side of that debate are you on? I think it should be debated. Who do you think you're fooling, son? Who do you think you're fooling? We can't look at that and go, oh, that's a dodge. That's the clearest dodge ever. And then there's just a lot of bullshit like, well, you know, people have to know what's going to go on with their taxes and stuff. People will save money with Medicare for all. Let me repeat. People will save money with Medicare for all. Like Cenk said, there's no premiums, no deductibles, no copays. So you save with all of that, but also there's no profit margin. So there's no unnecessary middleman skimming off the top because they have to make sure to pay executives millions of dollars so they can have their yachts and their home in the Hamptons. And again, this isn't an open question. It's not like, well, we don't know. Is it the case that you'd save money with Medicare for all? No, it's a fact. Every other single-payer country, they pay less and they cover everybody. And they have better health outcomes. So again, I'll get to more on that in a second. He says, well, access to healthcare is going to be limited. Access to healthcare is already limited. In other countries, they ration care based on need. Who needs it? Okay, you're going to get it. Oh, you have an elective procedure? You might have to wait a little bit because it's elective. It's elective. You're choosing to have it. You don't really need it. So you're going to wait a little bit for that. But if you need it, you're going to get it immediately. Here in the U.S., we ration care based on the size of your wallet. That's how we do it here. They do a wallet biopsy, as a doctor said in an article I read about this a while ago. That's what they do here. So this idea of what do you mean? We live in and he said, best healthcare system in the world. Again, right-wing talking point, nowhere near true. We're ranked number 37. And that's according to a World Health Organization study, admittedly out of date. It's from the year 2000. But there's been studies since then. I think one in 2014 by the Commonwealth Fund or somebody like that. And it was, we were last among modern nations. All the other modern nations have one version or another of a single-payer system. We were last. So it's not the best care in the world. It's the best care in the world just for Saudi princes. So if you're incredibly rich, yes, you come here, you get the best care. But everybody else, middle class, upper middle class, poor, they're not getting that same level of care. And then he said, well, the problem is the facts aren't on the table. No, the facts are on the table. You haven't looked at them. And you haven't looked at them. There's a reason why you haven't looked at them, because you have taken $441,248 from health packs. That probably includes insurance, health care companies, and big pharma. $441,248. Well, the facts aren't on the table. No, they're there. You're paid not to look at them. Because when you see the facts, you go, oh, that's open and shut case. It's not an open question. We know single-payer systems are better. Under our system, people get screwed. Again, he's talking, there was a kid in the UK and something was happening. We have 45,000 people that die every year in the U.S. because they don't have access to basic care. That number is zero in all the other industrialized nations. So all this bull, this is a point when Ted Cruz and Bernie Sanders were debating healthcare, which they did on CNN a while ago. This is a point that's such bullshit. What the people on the right do is they'll anecdotally pick cases and go, see, here's somebody who didn't get the best care and there was a bad outcome. Okay, we have 45,000 deaths because they don't have basic care, because we don't have a single-payer system. Deaths! So you say, oh my God, this person's surgery was late and it was trouble and this and that. All you need to do is learn the name of one or two or three people who died in this country because they didn't have access to basic health care, and that whole argument on the right is totally obliterated. He couldn't help himself, man. Joe Manchin, he knows it's a progressive audience. He knows he's talking to a progressive host. He knows that Medicare for all is our top priority, one of our top priorities. He knows his primary opponent, Paula Swearengin, is a lion, roaring, talking about Medicare for all is what we're fighting for. I'm not compromising. That's what we're going to fight for. It's a 60% favorability rating. He knows all this stuff. He still couldn't bring himself to be like, yeah, I support it. Yeah, it should be debated. And when I say debated, I mean I'm going to bring up all these bullshit right-wing talking points about how, they restrict care and it's going to raise your taxes and blah, 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 blah. Don't you want to vote for me, Democrats? Don't you want to vote for me, progressives? Aren't I so great? Dude, he voted for 3 of Trump's 16 cabinet picks. He voted for fucking Mike Pompeo to lead the CIA when Pompeo argued Snowden should be executed. He approved a guy to be in the CIA who wants to execute Edward Snowden. He's okay with Rex Tillerson the CEO of ExxonMobil being Secretary of State when Donald Trump said on the campaign trail, we're going to take the oil from Iraq. He's okay with Jeff Sessions as Attorney General. Mr. You're not a good person if you smoke weed. What are you talking about? Yeah, we need to double down on the war on drugs. And he wants you to vote for him. He thinks that, like, oh man, I got this locked up. Step aside, Joe. JusticeDemocrats.com/donate. JusticeDemocrats.com/donate. Go do it, man. Paula Swearingen. A lot of that money will go to Paula Swearingen, who's running against Joe Manchin. We got to get her in there. I mean, who are we kidding? This is a no-brainer. We got to go full court press to get Paula Swearingen in there. And I don't know how many more days we have left. It's not many, but we have maybe a few more days left in the Secular Talk shirt drive, where half the proceeds of that go to Justice Democrats. So that's booster.com/Secular Talk shirts if you want to donate that way and get a shirt in the process.